Very warm welcome to everyone joining us for this preview. It will be for the meeting at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. The first race welcomes you, maiden plate over 1,200 metres, due for 12:30. It's a 9-race program. Joining me on the line from Cape Town, lovely to have Graham Hawkins on the line. Good day, Graham. How are you doing?
All good, thank you, Sheldon. Trust you well.
Yes, all good this part of the world. Hope you're enjoying Cape Town side, and we're looking to see you soon in KwaZulu-Natal and then back to the Cape, so you'll be very, very busy. Let's get straight into the first race. Being a 9-race program, the bar pot will commence in race number 2. Race number 1, scratched as number 8, Golden Peace. Current favourite is number 9, Green Falcon at 16-10. Number 6, Logistical is 22-10. Those are the top 2 in the market. Which one of the 2 are you leaning towards, or are you going to go for one or 2 other runners in the first race, Graham?
Well, there has been anti-post support for number 6, Logistical. Finished behind both Bullet and Green Falcon on debut, but has only got a length and a half to find. And given that was his first run, I'm expecting him to make enough improvement to turn the tables on both Bullet and Green Falcon. So Logistical would be my top choice. But let's not ignore the filly, Aphrodite. She's a half-sister to Vardy. She's shown some potential. She takes on the boys here, but he's certainly in with a shout. I don't think it's the deepest maiden plate over 1,200 metres that we'll see this season, but I make it a 4-cornered contest. But my preference is definitely with number 6, Logistical, and I'm expecting to improve a lot.
So there we have it from Graham. He will be in the corner of number 6, Logistical, the son of Trippy from the Dean Canamere stable. An absolutely wonderful calling home, Keegan de Mello's 100th winner for the season. He came roaring through from the front there on Maximus. So Graham, Keegan de Mello, he's going to be right on song and in a rich vein of form.
Yeah, he's doing really well. What a wonderful season by his very high standards. The last couple of meetings have been a bit quiet, but I'm in his camp for the Betway Summer Cup. I'm in the camp of Puerto Manzano, so I'm going to be shouting for Keegan come Saturday.
Well, at least he's turned the corner just in time as we move on to race number 2, which will be the opening leg of the bar pot draw for 13:05. And looking at race number 2, there's 33-10 about number 12, Strawberry Light. Number 14, Egret is 4-1. 5, Ella's Delight, 9-2. Those are the top 3 in the betting. And looking at the opening leg of the bar pot, I'm going with numbers 1, 5, and 12. And I see you've gone with a host of runners here. You've gone with about 5 runners in the opening leg of the bar pot, Graham.
Yeah, I think it's quite a tricky start to the bipod, so I've gone with all of numbers 1, 5, 11, 12, and 14. There's been a bit of anti-post support for the filly Busy Lizzie, number 11, shortened in from 8-1 to 5-1. And I know he's well out of form, Andre Null. Even Chansonnet could not end his drought for him on Saturday. But he saddles a very well-bred first time in the form of number 4, Summer Song, with Elder de Meyer aboard. And that appears to be the stable elect. And given that number 10, Jazz Diva, didn't run a bad race first time out, you need to take note of those. For the moment, I haven't included either numbers 4 or 10 in the first leg of the bipod. But if there's support, and if they go down well, I might add them to my list, my long list. I think the first leg of the bipod is quite tricky. I would give the benefit of the doubt to number 14, Egret. Be knocking loudly at the door, but with no confidence at all.
This horse, number 5, Ella's Delight, I see they tried up to a mile 3 runs back behind Make It Snappy. Didn't seem to see out the mile. The next 2 runs over 1,400. Now dropping down to the 1,200. What do you read into that?
Yeah, look, she's obviously in good form. She's been runner-up in her last 2 starts. Brett Crawford, Cabela Matsinyana, they're in a rich vein of form, so you have to respect Ella's Delight. She'll go close again. I'm not sure that the step back to the 1,200 metres is going to be in her favour, but only the race will show that. But it is, again, it's wide open. There's no standout in race 2. I think it's a tricky start to the bipod.
Got to agree to you. Looking at the opening leg of the bipod there, throwing as many runners as your budget will allow. Graham's gone with the 5 runners. I've gone with 3 runners, and we'll be looking to survive the opening leg of the bipod. That'll take us on to race number 3. As we move into race number 3, this will be over 2,400 meters. 13:40 will be the off time. Let's get into the runners, where if you look at the best weighted column, being a middle stake, number 2, Double Check, is at a 95 currently, just ahead of number 5, Chewbacca, and then horses 6, 3, and 4. Graham, race number 3 over the 2,400 meter trip. Let's start off with number 1, Main. Type of horse that could be involved in the trifectas and quartets, although not in the best weighted column.
Yeah, look, it's a middle stakes, so they're pretty closely handicapped, and Main carries just 51 kilograms, so his form is reasonable, and you've got to believe that at the weights he'll have a chance of sneaking into the quartet positions.
Looking at the betting, number 2, Double Check is the current favourite, from 18 to 10 down 16 to 10, is the best weighted runner. And at the moment, Justin Snaith, they seem to own that number 1 box.
Wonderful form, and here, of course, Richard Ferree rides number 3, The Future is Bright, but that's because of the weights. If you go back in the form lines, way back to May, The Future is Bright beat Double Check over this distance by 3/4 of a length, giving Double Check 4.5 kilograms. Now I'm going to give it 9 kilograms. So I'm very much in the camp of the favourite, number 2, Double Check. I do think the winner will come from one of the 2 Justin Snaith runners, but at the weights you've got to fancy Double Check. She is a filly taking on the boys, but at the weight she's got to have a bright chance. I think she'll go out in search of an end-to-end victory under Josh Solomons. The Future is Bright, the principal threat. But of course, there's every chance of a boil over. You've got to include the likes of number 4, Trifecta and Quartet purposes. Number 1, Main. Number 5, Chewbacca. Those would appear the pick of the balance.
That's race number 3 over the 2,400 metre trip as we move on to the next hurdle, which will be race number 4. 14:20 is the off time over 1,800 metres. The Cape Summer Festival of Racing, merit rated 106 handicap, run over 1,800 metres. Quick look at the betting. We have joint favourites with numbers 1 and 3, Silvano's Timer. And I think let's start with Keegan DeMello and the Dean Canema Silvano's Timer. That run last time out behind Jet Dark, that was a cracker carrying the 60 kilograms.
Excellent run, excellent comeback run behind Jet Dark, receiving 2 kilograms from the champ, was only beaten 3.5 lengths, and a clear candidate for top honours here. He comes up against the Settlers Trophy winner Somerset Maugham. Interestingly, Somerset Maugham, who won that race in the boardroom, beat Han Solo, who came out to win the Algoa Cup, was only penalised 1 kilo for that win, whereas Silvano's Timer went up 3 kilos for beating Donald McDonald in July. This will be Silvano's Timer's second run after rest. I'm slightly in the camp. I'm leaning towards Somerset Maugham over Silvano's Timer. Jockey bookings would suggest that Warrior might need another run, but in the opening leg of the pick 6, I'm going to include all 3 of them. Numbers 1, Silvano's Timer, number 3, Somerset Maugham, and just in case, I'm also going to throw in number 5, Warrior.
And just looking at a number of the runners, number 2, Black Naps coming back from a lengthy absence. You got number 5, Warrior, number 6, Capoeira, and also number 8, Seventh Gear. So this will be a stepping stone for them to come along with the run under the belt, I believe.
Yeah, well, look, Black Nap hasn't raced since January. Capoeira hasn't raced since February. And Seventh Gear hasn't raced since July. So I think they'll probably need a run, and it would be a bit of a surprise if they were to overturn the principles in this race.
Right, let's move on to race number 5. And race number 5, the Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge, classified stakes over 2,000 metres. So for those out there looking at the classified stakes, you'll see the best weighted column with numbers 8, Main, and number 6, Sudden Song, and then there's numbers 5, 3, and 1 right there in the best weighted column over the 2,000 metre trip. And I see in your bar pot you've gone with 3, 4, 5, and 8, Graham.
Yeah, I think it's a tricky race. Many of these runners, of course, met over 2,200 metres on the 30th of October when Twice the Master came home ahead of Policy Target, Mr. Monocle, and Nothing Else Matters. Nothing Else Matters was a firm favourite on that occasion. Disappointed, could bounce back. The one runner that was not in that race is number 3, Machete Man, who is actually the current favourite at 5-2. A good second behind Pardon Nom last time out. Once again, the Richard Ferree, Justin Snaith combination. So perhaps Machete Man is the horse to beat. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Twice the Master again beat all those other horses that he beat last time. I think it's a very tricky race. So, yeah, I've gone a little wide, but perhaps Machete Man the one to beat.
Number 2, Admiral Burnham. Now, this is an interesting runner for me. Just having a quick look at the betting, is trading at around 14 to 1. Where Machete Man, obviously the stable elected 28 to 10. Gavin Larena, 62 kgs. Just seems to be stuck in the merit rating system at this point in time, and he hasn't quite delivered what he promised earlier on.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct, Sheldon. I think under 62 kilograms, he's got a tough task here. If you're looking for a bit of value in the race, then perhaps it lies with Eric Sands' horse, number 8, Quartermain. Ran well for a long way last time behind Inamarare. And I think being by Erupt, he's being tried beyond 1,600 meters for the first time in his career, steps up to the 2,000 meters. He could be a much better horse over this trip, being out of a Silvana mare. So if there is to be a bit of a surprise, it could come from number 8, Quartermain.
There you heard from Graham. He'll be looking for those runners to fight out race number 5 as we swing on to race number 6 over 1,600 meters. It's due off at 15:30. They are betting 2 to 1 about number 1, Future Swing. Number 3, Kitchakal, 33 to 10. Number 6, Max the Otter, also trading at 33 to 10. Numbers 1, 3, and 6. Those are the 3 runners you have in your bar pot. I've elected to banker number 3, Kitchakal. But let's start off with number 1, Future Swing. A horse out the maidens, a decent second where the average rating was an 84.
Nice 3-year-olds in this race, Sheldon, and number 1, Future Swing, is certainly one of them. Receives 2.5 kilograms from Kitchakal. Kitchakal has got to give weight to the other 3-year-olds in this race, Scalini and Max the Otter, all of whom have shown potential. But yeah, Future Swing really in good form. Cracked the inside gate, will make his presence felt. That I'm sure of.
Number 3, Kitchakal. This is from the Duncan House stable for the Hollywood Syndicate. They're also having a tremendous trot at the moment. Last time took on an average rating of a 98, when a second to Winchester Mansion. A lot of money and a lot of talk on that occasion, and I believe will come on leaps and bounds. You know your pedigrees like the back of your hand. Going the 1,600 meter trip, is this going to be in the favor?
No problem at all for Kitchakal. Certainly on his downside, he's bred to go this trip and perhaps even further. Was a very good introduction to Cape Town, albeit it was a 6-horse field. He stole a march on them and just about held on, was outgunned in the closing stages by Winchester Mansion. But I think, yeah, I'm hoping Kitchakal wins it. I mean, it would be nice to see the KZN Raiders have another victory, and particularly for Duncan House and for the Hollywood Syndicate. But I just wonder whether he's able to give weight to all of Future Swing, Scalini and Max the Otter, but I'll be delighted if he's equal to the task.
Well, let's see how race number 6 maps out. I'll be in the camp of number 3, Kitchakal, with the 60 kilograms on the back. But as you heard from Graham, some up-and-coming 3-year-olds. So it will be their test to see exactly how good they are in the pecking order and where they are going to go from here. Moving on to race number 7. Race number 7 is over 1,000 meters, due off at 16:05. This will be the final leg of the bar pot. And Graham and I have both gone the same numbers. Numbers 2, Dean Street, and also number 4, Tchaikovsky. Just chatting off air, number 4, Tchaikovsky. You're quite keen on the son of Pomodoro?
Yeah, I'm going to bank at Tchaikovsky in the last leg of the bipod. I'm also going to make him my pick 6 banker for the day. He's shortened in the anti-post betting from 22 to 10 into 16 to 10. Great run last time, just failing to catch the unbeaten Love in Winter. This will be his 3rd run after a rest. He reeled off 3 in a row between May and June. He's back in top form, and I'm not looking for anything to beat number 4, Tchaikovsky. For me, best bet on the card.
There we have it from Graham Hawkins, best bet on the card, and at this early time of recording, 15 to 10. Opened up around 18 to 10, so the anti-post support has come for number 4, Tchaikovsky, and Graham could be spot on the button with this individual in race number 7. That'll take us on to race number 8, where number 3, Magnetic Dime, is the scratching. So take out number 3, Magnetic Dime at the early time of recording. 2 races left on the card, and in race number 8, let's just have a look at the current betting. The current favorite, number 5, Priceless. This is a daughter of Dynasty from the Brett Crawford stable. Smashing debut, went exceptionally green, shifted about and managed to get the bit of exchanges, is currently at 28-10. Number 8, Banika is 3-1. Number 6, Fun Zone is trading at 4-1. We got Gimme a First at 11-2, and number 1, Totally Rocks, is around 8-1. Graham, when you look at race number 8, it's over the 1200 meter sprint. Who's going to be your top 2 selections in race 8?
Yeah, Priceless, a really nice debut over 1,000 meters at Durbanville. Not an easy track and trip for a first-timer by Dynasty to win, so she'll be far better suited up the straight over 1,200 meters. And how good she is, the race will show, because there's no shortage of opposition here. So you've got to give the benefit of the doubt to Priceless, but Bonica, the Farid Justin Snaith combination, will provide plenty of opposition, as will Fun Zone, Totally Rocks, and Gimme a First. I think it's quite a tricky race. And then I can't give you any logical explanation, but I just have a gut feel that number 4, Pukelpa, the stable companion to Bonica, again Justin Snaith, but this time Louis Mkotwa rides. I just have a feeling that this filly is going to run well at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. On form, at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, my apologies. On form, perhaps a bit to find, but I'm definitely throwing her in.
There we go. Number 5, Priceless, is the current favourite, who Louis Mkotwa did ride first time out. But look closely, have a second glance. Number 4, Pukelpa. Louis Mkotwa jumps aboard this individual, the Vercingetorix for the Justin Snaith team. And Graham could be onto the value selection as far as race number 8 goes. Ending off the meeting and bringing down the curtain will be race number 9. This will be down the straight over 1,200 metres. Quick look at the betting. Number 2, Quandary, is the early scratching, so take out number 2, Quandary. Number 3, Red Impact, is 5-2. Number 4, Cheeky Laddie, is 28-10. Number 7, Ensuing, is at around 5-1. Looking at race number 9, Graham, the favourite number 3, Red Impact, is a horse who's held the form out the maidens, ran 4th behind Bluff on Bluff, and that 3rd to Trumpy last time out. I think that's the run that could stand this son of Red Ray in real good stead.
Very, very, very good run indeed. Has 61.5 to shoulder here. I think it's quite a tricky race to end off the card. I'm marginally in the camp of number 4, Cheeky Laddie, over number 3, Red Impact. But there should not be too much to choose between them. Justin Snaith's Pashton Wali should run well, as should Swift Action. And then for me, although 16-1 in the betting right now, I'm not going to leave out number 8, Mr. Frosty, from my trifecta and quartet calculations. Again, I think he's only got 52.5 to shoulder, and back up the straight at Kenilworth his last 2 runs at Durbanville. I'm expecting Mr. Frosty to run a big race at big odds.
I've got to agree with you, number 8, Mr. Frosty. I think you found the lurker in the pack there. If you go back a few runs, ran 5th behind Benjamin, who I think came out and pranked the form the other day. So the form lines are looking half decent. And with the bottom weight there, number 8, Mr. Frosty, definitely worth throwing into your exactas and your trifectas. Just getting back to number 4, Cheeky Laddie. The penultimate run was over 1,600. The last run, 1,400. Are you worried about the drop back to 1,200, although it did win the debut over the trip?
Look, he's a smashing colt from a smashing family, and is in fact a sprinting family. I think Dean might be at a bit of a loss, Dean Cannemeyer, that is, as to what his real distance should be, Cheeky Laddie. But starting afresh, I guess, coming all the way back to 1,200 meters up the straight, he's out of that one of beautifully bred mares, Orly's Secret. I think he should go well up the straight at Kenilworth.
Looks to be a terrific day's racing. We have a 9-race program on the card. Wonderful to have Graham Hawkins on the line from Cape Town. And we're going to hand over to you, Graham. You're going to give your bipod selections, and hopefully they come to fruition.
Well, here we go. First leg, as I said earlier, we'll go wide with numbers 1, 5, 11, 12, and 14. But I might even still add the Andre Nel pair right at the end of I see them go down to the start and last look at the betting. Then in the second leg, numbers 2 and 3, double check in the future is bright. Third leg, numbers 1 and 3, Sylvana's Time and Somerset Morm. Then 3, 4, 5, and 8, that's Machete Man, Twice the Master, Nothing Else Matters, and Quarter Main. Penultimate leg, numbers 1, 3, and 6, Future Swing, Kitchakel, and Max the Art. And I'm happy to bank a number 4, Tchaikovsky, in the final leg.
Well, thanks very much to Graham Hawkins as we move on to my bar pot, and we'll give you my numbers, and hopefully between the two perms you'll be able to come out lucky. In particular, the opening leg, I'm going to go with numbers 1, 5 and 12, followed by numbers 2 and 3, followed by 1 and 5. The next leg, numbers 2, 3 and 5. I'm then going to banker number 3, Kitcha hoping to be in the top 3, going the extra trip for the first time. And the last leg, numbers 2 and 4. Graham, been an absolute pleasure being on the line with you. Take care, all the best, and we'll chat to you soon.
Thank you, Sheldon. Go well.